Tesla-made high-energy density sodium-ion batteries appear to be on the horizon based on newly released info. Stick around as I discuss this new battery technology from Tesla. I'm John, and this is Cleanerwatt. Sodium-ion batteries have some key advantages over lithium-ion batteries, including lower material cost, longer cycle life, improved safety, and also importantly, superior performance in extreme temperatures. However, in the past, the low energy density nature of sodium-ion batteries in general has held this technology back, but companies like CATL have shown that with some technological innovation, it is possible to bring the energy density of sodium-ion batteries to a comparable level to that of lithium iron phosphate batteries, which makes sodium-ion batteries a viable solution for lower range electric vehicles and not just grid energy storage solutions. Earlier this year, they unveiled their Naxtra sodium-ion battery, which they plan to mass produce late this year. As CATL pointed out in this press release regarding their sodium-ion battery technology, quote, both referring to the passenger EV sodium-ion battery and their heavy-duty truck version of the sodium-ion battery, are capable of performing across the full temperature range from negative 40 degrees Celsius to 70 degrees Celsius, redefining the extreme temperature limitations of batteries. They also point out here, the Naxtra passenger EV battery retains 90% usable power at negative 40 degrees Celsius. So the extreme temperature performance of these batteries is really impressive and is quite a bit better than lithium-ion batteries. And in addition to that, while sodium-ion batteries in the past have had low energy density, CATL pointed out that their technology has an energy density of 175 watt-hours per kilogram and can offer a 500-kilometer range in electric vehicles, and also impressively can achieve over 10,000 cycles. So this is some really impressive technology, and when it comes to how that 175 watt-hours per kilogram compares, this is a little bit lower than what CATL has been able to reach with their lithium iron phosphate batteries, which is 205 watt-hours per kilogram, but it's not that far off, and it's actually higher than some of the past versions of LFP batteries that even Tesla used from CATL. Okay, now beyond CATL, Tesla apparently sees the potential in sodium-ion batteries as well, and Tesla-funded researchers have found a way to greatly improve the energy density of these batteries while maintaining good cycle life, and that technology is described in this recently published Tesla patent application regarding improving the energy density of anode materials for sodium-ion batteries. Now, if you notice, when you go there to the inventors of this technology, you can see that Jeff Dahn's name is there at the top. If you've been following battery technology, you probably know this, but as a reminder, Jeff Dahn is a battery scientist and is one of the pioneers responsible for developing the modern lithium-ion battery that we use today. In addition, he currently heads up a team of researchers at Dalhousie University in Canada that is focused on battery technology advancements. In addition, since he has partnered with Tesla and much of his research is funded by Tesla, Dahn's research group gives Tesla exclusive rights to the inventions and developments that come from their collaboration. So Tesla has a great partnership here, and anytime I see Jeff Dahn's name on, for example, a patent application, I take notice. With that being said, as is pointed out here in the text of this application, the high abundance of sodium and its ability to be utilized as a basis for an energy storage device makes sodium an attractive replacement for lithium. However, one obstacle for wider scale adoption remains the limited volumetric energy density of sodium-ion batteries relative to that of lithium-ion batteries. For example, the volumetric capacity of typical sodium-ion battery negative electrodes, such as hard carbon, is limited to less than about 450 milliamp hours per centimeter cubed. As such, sodium-ion energy storage devices with improved volumetric energy densities may be advantageous. Now, why is this technology specifically focused on the anode of the battery and not the cathode? Well, the main reason for that is because when you look at a battery, whether that's a lithium-ion battery or a sodium-ion battery, the anode, the limitations of how much energy can be stored, how many ions can be stored in that anode material, that really is one of the main limiting factors of the energy density of a battery. Because, for example, the theoretical energy density of a typical nickel manganese cobalt cathode, based on my research, can be somewhere around 3 times that of graphite. Since it is the negative anode that stores the ions when a battery is fully charged, the theoretical max capacity of the electrode that holds the least amount of energy will be the limiting factor. And of course, when we're talking here about the carbon-based anode, that is the limiting factor as compared to most cathode materials that are used in a battery. Thus, if you can improve the theoretical energy density of the anode material by, for example, adding alloys to the anode as is described in this patent application, that should increase the energy density of the battery cell itself. Now, when it comes to how much these materials could add to the theoretical energy density of the anode of these batteries, speaking specifically of volumetric energy density, because that's what we're mainly dealing with here, the theoretic energy density of phosphorus, for example, is 1523 milliamp hours per centimeter cubed, tin 1108 milliamp hours per centimeter cubed, and lead 1,072 milliamp hours per centimeter squared. So when you compare this to hard carbon, which was pointed out earlier in this text, having a theoretical volumetric energy density of less than 450 milliamp hours per centimeter cubed, adding one or more of these alloys should improve the theoretical energy density of the anode of a battery cell. Now you'll notice that I also put silicon on this chart, which has a theoretical max energy density that is quite a bit better than these other materials. However, of course, it does have the problem of volume expansion, which leads to a short lifetime of batteries unless you build a technology to compensate for that in the anode of the battery. Now, these other materials also have some expansion that go on when they are fully charged. As is pointed out in this text, quote, the volume expansion for amorphous red phosphorus to sodium 3P may be about 292%. The volume expansion for lead and tin, comparing the fully unsodiated and sodiated phases, are about 424% and 387% respectively. When it comes to how that volumetric expansion compares to silicon and carbon, tin and lead, for example, are in the range of what silicon can see when it comes to volume expansion, with lead being even higher than silicon, for example. So as is pointed out in this text, you would think that with that kind of volume expansion, this would cause problems in a battery. It's written here specifically, quote, such volume expansions and contraction during cycling may generally be expected to result in the pulverization and disconnection of the active material particles from the bulk electrode and cause instability in the solid electrolyte interface SEI. However, in early testing, it doesn't look like this volume expansion is causing the same damage as it would in a silicon-based anode. It's pointed out here, despite such volume expansions and contractions, it was unexpectedly found that the sodium-ion energy storage devices, including the anode active material or the composite anode active material disclosed herein, exhibits acceptable capacity retention after more than 200 cycles. In addition, it was found that the consistency in voltage curves between 100 and 200 cycles suggests the anode electrode disclosed herein experienced neither impedance growth nor active mass loss despite massive volume change for 200 cycles. Moreover, it was found that the anode disclosed herein demonstrates improved kinetics and rate capability. So unlike silicon, it looks like the expansion with these alloys in the anode is not causing the same damage as you would normally expect. So this is really exciting. Now, I need to see data of this anode with these alloys maybe going 1,500 cycles or so, maybe 2,000 cycles, and we can see what it looks like then. I think that would be important, at least 1,000 cycles, but I'd love to see 1,500 or 2,000 cycles and see what we're dealing with at that point. But nonetheless, it looks like the early data is impressive. And in addition, when it comes to the capacity retention, it's written here, in some embodiments, the sodium-ion energy storage device comprises a capacity retention of at least 90% after 200 cycles. With that being said, it appears like Tesla is still pretty early on in the development of a potential sodium ion battery, but I do hope that they follow this through and produce their own sodium ion batteries. It would be, of course, great for their grid energy storage devices, but I would love to see it also in something like the robotaxi, sodium ion batteries in the robotaxi. Now, I don't believe that the initial versions of that vehicle will have sodium ion batteries because it appears like Tesla is still pretty early on in the development of these batteries. Whereas, for example, CATL plans to mass produce their batteries later on, late this year. So CATL is way ahead of Tesla, it appears like, in this particular example. And I sure hope this is something that Tesla develops out and produces themselves in the future. With that being said, do let me know what you think about all this in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd also like to say thank you to all of those of you who support me through Patreon. Your support makes a big difference and does help make these videos possible. If you'd like to find out more about how you can support my work through Patreon, I will put a link in the video description. Thank you so much.